All right, chapter 363, Hunter x Hunter. So, Kurapika lost all of his bodyguards. His bodyguards were attacked by Prince Momose's Nenbis. All the other princes decided to meet up and they had their little banquet together. Their first banquet, the ninth prince Hulkenberg drops out and says he's not going to participate. The other top five princes are making alliances. Kurapika was attacked by a Nin beast, and every prince was inquiring their bodyguards about Nin. So now they're aware of Nin, and it seems like only the Hunters Association can use Nin. All right, so let's keep moving forward. Wobble's royal bodyguards have all been wiped out. Yes, sir. See, yeah, this was pretty sad. According to the information from the Army's intelligence, that leaves just the two hunters who we enlisted from outside agencies. Hmm. I have no idea who's behind this, but I can't believe they'd go after the baby first. Shengle. Hang on. The bodyguards that were assigned to the youngest prince were all belonged to the other queens. Yes, sir. In that case, it's strange that every single one of them was wiped out, isn't it? Unless, in order to deflect suspicion from themselves, they killed their own men as well. Actually, there's some issues regarding that I need to discuss with you. Nenbis. Okay, so this guy is oblivious to Nen because he's not even considering that like it could be some form of some otherworldly attack. He seemingly thinks that yeah, he's seemingly thinking of it like in the traditional sense that there were spies and that these spies were they had some duty, they had some goal in mind, and then they ended up just dying. But like it's more complicated than that because there's Nan, the mysterious keyword that fills the ship's corridors. For now, I've confirmed it with all the bodyguards already, but none of our men know anything about it. Regardless, his word indeed holds some key to how and why all our bodyguards were killed. So he had some he had bodyguards infiltrate the Prince Wobble. Okay. It's gonna be hard for me to remember their faces. Rough breakdown of the royal residential area. Oh wait, let me go full screen. That'll probably be better. Rough breakdown of the royal residential area. The workers' area, the kitchen, the dining hall, the living room, the prince's bedroom. Okay. The most important area of the ship of offerings. The banquet hall, the royal family's residential area. The soldiers, associate members, living quarters leads one floor down. The VIP residential area. Father, Cammy has something that she'd like you to clarify for her. There are many ways that one could interpret the word survive, and I think the definition of having dropped out is also too vague. I'd like you to not accept anything short of biological death as having lost, and therefore dropped out of the competition. Is that alright? The third Prince Zhang Lei asked about the conditions for becoming king as well, although the nuance of his questions were slightly different. I'll give you the same answer word for word that I gave him. The sole survivor will be the official successor to the throne. How you might interpret that is also part of the succession war. Coo. Worrying about such worrying about such pointless things, Camilla, the first prince, and the second prince. If you're doing this because you truly desire to become king yourself, then you've no need to focus on other people's definitions. Damn. That's a very straightforward person. He said, why are you trying to, why are you trying to, be smart about it? You know, if you want to be the king, take it by force. Stop trying to weasel your way out. Be pretty smart and all that. Yeah, Benjamin is very serious. Cammy doesn't like that. What Cammy wants is for all the people in the world to act exactly as Cammy thinks they should. And first off, Cammy wants all the princes other than Cammy to die. Ideally, I'd want them to all go off and die on their own. Camilla will be the king, so I should just die. That's what I want them all to think. What a conceited, arrogant woman. Entrusting the royal throne to you would be tantamount to having a mad dog babysit. It's completely insulting to the royal family. How dumb can you get? As if Cammy would ever do something like babysit. Out of the way. Camilla, show your older brother some respect. Unforgivable, this whole world is wrong, and there's no choice left but for Cammy to change it by herself. And that is a very freaking selfish, narcissistic person. Just wishing something alone won't make it happen. The world is just way too unfair. So we're just introduced to the second prince, Prince Camilla. Father, that is the senseless, wretched reality of one who has no qualifications to become king. As her older brother, I feel only shame. I, Benjamin, shall take upon the responsibility and prune this branch. I swear to you here and now that I shall protect the great and mighty tree of Kaken. Hmm. I'm expecting great things. Kill. First Prince Benjamin left. First Prince Benjamin has left the room. I'm going to kill them right now. Area 1 is now on maximum alert. I'll kill them all. There's no way I can wait for us to disembark. Dang. I think that means he can use Nen. I think this means this is aura. His aura seems pretty strong. Tell this to the captain of the private troops. Basilica. First, bring the fourth Prince Serenich before me. Tell this to the captain of private troops. Balsamico. Yes, sir. This is Balsamico. I have to remember his face. First, bring the fourth Prince Serenich before me. I don't care how you accomplish it, but do not kill him. I'll do that myself. Got it? Yes, sir. And then beasts that act as parasites have latched onto us. Then why can't I see them even though I can use Nen? Oh, yeah, he can use Nen. Alright, perfect. This is just a theory, but perhaps there was a condition that participants in the ceremony would be unable to see the Nen beast. Or perhaps there's some other condition that you don't meet. That's likely what happened with the 14th Prince Wobble. The fact that the aforementioned Nen beast wouldn't directly kill the 14th Prince Wobble means that there are probably some more rules that we don't know about. So these guys are pretty smart. but he's meeting up with this guy. Hmm. I'm kind of interested. I think he's going after I think the first prince is going after Serenich because he finds Serenich to be like repugnant. He doesn't think he's fit to see the throne. But I think that Zhang Lei. This is Zhang Lei, right? It looks like him. Third prince. The third prince. So the first and the third have a relationship. The fourth and the fifth have a relationship, and the second prince hates everybody. Gosh. Oh, so he's just talking with the first prince. So I'm assuming yeah, the first and the third have a pretty good relationship. I'm assuming because they're willing to talk to each other, and this guy seems to have calmed down a lot. Mhm. And he seems comfortable talking to him because he's mentioning to the third prince that he can use Nen. So the first prince somehow learned Nen, and the third prince is pretty close to the first. Wait, is that the third? Wait, let me see. I don't know. The third has like these his three dots. Does he have those three dots? Or is that guy somebody different? Never mind. Forget what I just said. This guy's different. Okay, so maybe these two can use Nen. This is one of his royal guards. We need to get a firm understanding of these rules as fast as we can before the other princes do. That will be the key to winning the survival game. Taking any actions before we do that could very well cost us our lives. Are you telling me to wait? Yes. There are two main reasons for this. Our enemies are Nen beasts, and as long as you, Sir Benjamin, cannot see them, it becomes extremely dangerous for you to act by yourself. Therefore, we need to completely rework our defensive plans. The other reason has to do with the emergency announcement just now. Now that the words Nen beast and Nen abilities have been made aware to all the princes and bodyguards, you could say that our advantage has almost been completely squashed. I see you're talking about hunters. All of them are Nen users and have a much longer history with it than we do, in addition to having much more knowledge of Nen. But protecting the princes is only a secondary mission for them. They also possess little insider information about Kaken as far as the information battle goes. We had the overwhelming victory. Okay. So they're gonna try to leverage their advantage against the hunters, and hopefully against the other princes. In theory, it seems like these two are close though. Like he has a lot of respect for this guy because like he's willing to like listen to him. Like, he did seem like he was a hothead, but like he does seem like he's pretty reasonable because he's sitting down, he's talking to him, he's listening. But thanks to that announcement of just one lone hunter, all the bodyguards gained a clear understanding of what they were up against. So now the ones that can use Nin will be on their utmost alert. This renders our plan to use Nin for a surprise attack on them useless. That was such an unnecessary thing to do. I can't quite understand. Why would he intentionally broadcast this information to everyone on the emergency channel? Eighth Queen Oito wouldn't have told him about the jar ceremony. So why would he even leak to the enemy princes that fact that he confirmed the enemy's identity as an Nen beast? So it seems like the first prince is seemingly saying that like uh this hunter is probably competent. He's thinking of like he's thinking that there's some other reason why he would broadcast the information when he could have kept it under wraps. I'd have expected nothing less of you, Sir Benjamin. We also struggle to make sense of that. Deterrence is probably the most likely and reasonable answer. Right now, because of that information, we're being forced to change our plans, and we wait now. Which means they are able to avoid any other situations occurring. The hunter's original mission lies in the Dark Continent, which makes it reasonable to think that they are aiming to avoid any conflicts on board until they arrive. This is also in line with the motives of the younger princes. Since they have much less military force, they are likely to be much more passive in this battle. It's also become apparent that the other hunters have started to actively share information with each other in response to the announcement. So then you think that the younger princes and their hunter bodyguards are working together to keep each other alive. The situation will start to change greatly depending on how the hunters begin to control the princes and their nen beasts. Precisely. The nen beasts and the hunters' abilities are still unknown. Depending on what they are, they could pose a serious threat to us. Okay. Wow, okay. So the first prince and his bodyguard are basically saying are basically planning their new operations. Like they don't know the abilities of their nen beasts. They can't see the nen beasts. These are like unknowns that they don't know. The unknowns that the hunters don't know. They don't know that the first prince can use nen. They don't know how much information the uh Kakin has. They don't know about the ceremony and all that. Except for Kurapika. Kurapika was the only person that knew. And now Kurapika is kind of undermining their information war. And they think it's because that they're trying to avoid conflict by like potentially establishing allies. They're trying to get allies and all that. Okay. On top of that, there might also be nen users within the older prince's private soldiers. If the princes became aware of nen thanks to this incident, they may try to gain instruction in mastering nen themselves. Summon all the private soldiers here. Now. Yes, sir. Because he acts on impulses and likes to take the shortest route to a goal, he is easily misunderstood. But his logic does no hesitate and shows no fear. If we supply him with the proper information, he's able to come up with a sound and appropriate decision. In order to guide our still developing country into an even greater nation, he's the only one who possesses the flexibility and understanding we need. Wow. The first prince. From now on, I want you to act as the royal family's bodyguards, working in shifts with the other members here. Each of you will all work as each of the prince's bodyguards. The details of the mission still remain the same. Guard the princes while observing them and report on their actions. But because of the unknown threat that the NBs pose, this mission has become extremely high risk and dangerous. Pay the utmost attention to the Nen Beast, hunters' abilities, and figure out what they are. If the enemy should attack, of it becomes clear that they intend to attack, then exercise your right to defend yourself by whatever necessary means. In other words, you have permission to kill your opponent. Wow. Okay. So he's seemingly saying that the princes are gonna try to learn in. The princes are gonna try to learn in, and their bodyguards might also try to learn in. At least that's what I think he's saying. I wonder if all of his private bodyguards can use Nin. I don't know if all of them can, but regardless, he's sending his bodyguards to go infiltrate the group. Um, I think it's ideally because like although like the lower princes have less of a chance of survival, uh he still views them as a threat because they don't have enough information on their Nen beasts. They don't have enough information, so he's just monitoring and trying to make a correct assessment of how to get rid of them. In other words, you have permission to kill your opponent. Yes, sir. I need to remember this freaking page, bro. There's too many faces, though. It's gonna be too difficult. Balsamico, are you able to see my Nenbeast? Yes, it is a Nenbeast that is indeed fitting for the next king. Hmm. So First Prince Benjamin has used his private troops to spy on all the other princes as their bodyguards. Royal bodyguards must normally be official troops of the Kaken of the king's army to be assigned to that position. But being the military's supreme vice counselor, Benjamin's private troops are allowed this sole right. So he has the authority to like infiltrate their groups, I'm assuming. So like I'm assuming they can't like stop him. I'm assuming they can't decline his offer. Don't you dare let them wander into Cammy's sight. If they take even one step into the living room, kill them all. And call mom. These are clearly measures taken in response to the announcement. This is a chance to learn about Ninbeast. Oh, this is the third prince. The third prince. Hmm. The third prince is saying. So first Prince Benjamin has used his private troops to spy on all the other princes as their bodyguards. Royal bodyguards must normally be official troops of the king's army to be assigned to that position. But being the military's supreme vice counselor, Benjamin's private troops are allowed this sole right. These are clearly measures taken in response to the announcement. This is a chance to learn about Ninbees. Okay. So he's thinking ahead. He seems to be pretty smart. So he probably has somebody who infiltrated the first prince, or he has like some ally. He has some ally within the circle of his royal bodyguards, and he's getting this information, and he's saying that this could be a chance for the first prince. The prince is doing this to like figure out about Ninbeast, so he's probably assuming that the first prince doesn't know much about Ninbeast, which could be an advantage for him. That's probably what he's thinking. How shall we handle this? You, the fourth Prince Serenich, being the first queen's child. have no obligation to acquiesce to their requests. Tell them they're fools. I'm in the middle of my Nen meditation. Okay. I see. They're talking about the bodyguard situation. How shall we handle this? Fourth Prince Serenich, being the first queen's child, have no obligation to acquiesce to their request. Tell them they're fools. So he doesn't have to listen to the first prince. He doesn't have to listen to the first prince. The person that made that emergency announcement, they're trying to draw things to a stalemate. I want information on that hunter. Bring it to me immediately. Yes, sir. So it seems like the third and the fourth prince know about Benjamin's control over the army. Seems like the fifth prince doesn't know much about it. All the phones on board are controlled by the king's army. Contacting Melody and the others would be very risky. The wireless phones used by the bodyguards to contact each of their princes have their channels fixed, so I won't be able to contact any of the other princes' bodyguards with them. Although we couldn't bring them into the prince's living quarters, if I could get a hold of another group's wireless phones, I'd be able to exchange information. Couldn't you use Cyrid's power to investigate the other princes? It's possible, but we can't just go snooping around blindly. If we don't narrow down a target and what information we need, we won't be able to keep vigilant watch over the prince while taking the long time required for this high risk operation. No matter what we decide on, though, we're overwhelmingly short on manpower. Hmm. So he's thinking about, uh, yeah, Kurpika's doing exactly what the princes say he's trying to do, trying to draw things to a stalemate. He's trying to get in contact with the other with the members of the Hunters Association so that they can work together and hopefully keep each other safe because they don't they're all, the Hunters Association is on the same side. They all want to keep the princess safe and they all don't want to go on the offensive. They want to be very passive. Okay. Ding dong. It's probably the first prince's bodyguard. We're throwing a new spy on top of this situation. Hello. I contacted you previously. I'm under the employ of the first prince, the royal bodyguard Vincent. I wonder what's wrong. I had even I had even just finished breastfeeding him. Maybe he's sleepy. I'll take him to his room. Also, a little worried about the new person being here. I understand. We'll make sure to watch over the entryway at all time in shifts. Got it. What the? Ah, Bill, watch the prince. That was just in the nick of time. Yep. Oh, this guy's a freaking asshole. She suddenly pulled a knife on me and tried to attack me, so I had no choice. Yep. And on top of that, she had this little vial of poison on her. Yep. She probably tried to stick me with it. Ah, that was a close call. So as you can see, I exercised my right to defend myself. Yep. He's not a spy, he's an assassin. The blade has been let loose. Will it pierce? Will it be dodged? Or will it be broken? Dang, what do you even do in this situation? He clearly just framed her. He clearly framed her, but you can't really you can't really do anything about it. You probably just need to keep this guy away. You need to keep him away from the prince. You need to disarm him of all weapons. Disarm him of all weapons and any tactics he may have. Force him to confirm if he's an end user. I think the best thing you can do is get information out of him and keep him away from the prince, because it probably would cause a bigger issue if Kurapika escalates. No matter what happens to us, we will protect the two of you. These guys are freaking wow, wow. That is why we are here. Will you trust me, Prince Wobble Queen Oito? Bah. I will trust you no matter what happens. Lady Oito, I'm communicating directly to your mind. We are currently connected by Kurapika's ability. I have transferred the right to use Little Eye, which I have equipped with you, which I have been equipped with from Kurapika to you, Lady Oito. This will be in effect until the ability is activated. Presently, the only one that can see me are Kurapika and yourself. He's attacking the queen. Is this a yes? Is this a yes to our cooperation? The freaking prince, the first prince, his bodyguards. Where is the other bodyguard? Oh, he's attacking the prince's royal guard. He has a gun. Wait, did he have a gun the entire time? I think he just had. Yeah, I think he did. No, he's blocking it. On top of using his arms and that stance to protect his vitals, he's guarding himself with Nen. I won't be able to stop him with just a gun. Air blow. It didn't work. My aura is being drained. Stealth Dolphin, by using my index finger's Emperor's Time, I can transfer an ability I've taken to someone else. Which means I can take another ability using Steel Chain. You. Gah, stop. For your attempted assassination of the 14th Prince Wobble, I am hereby restraining you. What are you talking about? You are the ones that ignored my warnings and attacked me. I just came here as a royal bodyguard to help and defend the queen and prince. I will testify. No matter what underhanded tricks you try to use or dirty methods you try to employ, the one that came here after our lives and the one that killed the innocent Sandra was you, Vincent. Wow. So yeah, he's just causing chaos, and he's basically trying to provoke them. So Kurapika is gonna restrain him. He's not gonna try to bring it to the royal guards because they're probably corrupt in the first place. So he kind of just has to restrain him. Do not worry, Queen Oito. If I use my ability, he'll confess to everything on the witness stand on his own. Crunch. What's wrong? It's poison. You must have had it in one of his back teeth. Make him throw up. Oh yeah. Wow. He shouldn't have said that because he probably wouldn't have done that. Make him throw up. He took it with great conviction and resolve. We're probably too late. Please get inside here. Please get in contact with the Royal Army. You're gonna hand him over just like that? What about his confession? I know it's indeed unfortunate, but this isn't a case that will get wrapped up in the ship court alone. And unless we can get an immediate arrest of the mastermind with his confession, we need to avoid it. Consider the risk that will arise having us and the queen appear in court. If the first prince's camp is watching us carefully, then we shouldn't make any moves either. Yep. Just gonna try to avoid escalation. I think that's the best move because the first prince will probably be more aggressive if Kurpika takes any action. Dang, but he really killed the maid too. That's messed up, man. He assassinated the maid and he tried to get the prince. Okay. Let's move the corpse over here. Wait a second. It seems they noticed it. The connection has been lost. The real problem here is the enemy's ability. Just a few seconds after the gunshot, he was restrained. If Vincent were able to use his nin normally, even in a 2 versus 1 situation, it's very hard to believe that he would get overpowered in a matter of seconds. Wow, that was so fortunate. So where was his camera at? His button or something? He must have had a camera somewhere. Okay, anyways, let's go back to what he said. It's very hard to believe that he would get overpowered in a matter of seconds. One of the enemies must have some kind of method of render Vincent unable to use a nin, which forced him to fight back with his gun. Or on the other hand, he could have an ability that could extract a confession. Alright, so somehow they were using that bodyguard to spy. Oh, right here. It says right there. The aura right there. So they noticed that they were being spied on by this aura or something. That's why Kurpika does the shh. I didn't notice that. He says shush. And that's why he's talking about something else. Oh, that's why he was like, you're gonna hand him over just like that without what about his confession? And then he reacted. Kurapika says shush. And then he points to this thing. And then they were listening in on it. Yeah, so Bill kinda gave away a few of Kurapika's abilities. He said that Kurapika can extract a confession probably. So they think that he can do that. And they think that he's too difficult to restrain easily. So they think that he has an ability to nullify Nen. They think Kirby has an ability to nullify Nen, or one of them. One of them has the ability to do it. The opposite could also be possible. Perhaps he hesitated to use his Nen ability, now wanting to show it to an enemy, so he chose to use his gun. That decision could have backfired and allowed the enemy to restrain him. I will instruct the other soldiers to use their Nen abilities immediately after invoking their right to self-defense. But what bothers me is still comes back around to the enemy's ability. It just doesn't add up. If the enemy isn't a manipulator, most of the time they require a vocal command to use their abilities, but that wasn't the case. On top of that, Vince was able to shoot, resist, and poison himself. Is it possible that it was a bluff? If that's true, then they would have already been aware of our monitoring at that time. Yes, but we can't say that his ability is a complete lie. Okay, so they're saying that they think that he has some ability. We're not really sure what the ability is, but it clearly was an ability that could defeat the bodyguard. It was clearly an ability that could defeat them. But they think that Kurapika wasn't aware of them spying on them because they gave away this information over here. So they're unsure of the ability that Kurapika used to restrain them, or one of them used to restrain them, and they're unsure, and they don't think that they were being spied on. So they're a little bit lost, I think. But if we consider that he deliberately let us hear him, then the whole interaction comes together clearly. After all, if they lay hints that they have someone with the ability to manipulate humans with them, then they would force us to stay cautious and inactive. As far as Vincent choosing to take his own life, well, that's kind of the man he was, balls of steel prepared to die at any minute. Though there's only two bodyguards left now, they are unexpectedly loyal to their mission, and they just might possess some troublesome abilities. Cuckoo, how interesting. Bobby Mania. Bobby Mina. Bobby Mina. You will take over for Vincent. Yes, sir. The situation has changed, so the mission must change as well. What I am entrusting you here, what I am entrusting you with here, is a mission of absolute and utmost importance. Failure will not be tolerated. Complete this mission even if it costs you your life. Yes, sir. 13th Prince Mariam constantly constantly has his pet hamster with him at all times. At the next banquet, I will have eighth Queen Uito activate Siren's ability to take control of that hamster. If this works out, this will be the best chance we will get to learn about the other prince's situations. So the little boy has a hamster. Okay, that's coincidence. But there's still almost an entire week left until the next banquet. 1 hour would be 150 days. 24 hours would be 10 years, 1 week. I guess it's not realistic. But there's still almost an entire week left until the banquet. 1 hour would be 150 days. 24 hours would be 10 years, 1 week. Wait a sec, let me do that math. 1 hour would be 150 days. 24 hours would be 10 years. So for every 1 day, there was 10 years. So 7 days, that's 70 years. Damn. 70 years? 70 years of what? I guess it's not realistic. Queen Oicho, I know everything has been thrown into utter chaos right now, but my ability has a time constraint. Um, so what should I do? The ability to control small animals is absolute best suited for scouting work. If you use it, you'll be able to monitor the other prince's actions. The most ideal organisms are flies and mosquitoes. They are able to fly through air, and being that they are found ordinarily everywhere, They do not arouse suspicion. If you come across either one of those, issue an immediate order to the dolphin. It will be able to hit the target for you. Kurapika, do you wish to equip me with that power? If you do that, you will learn the details of that power, and you will also be able to use it. Furthermore, you will also be able to use your steel chain again. You'll be killing 3 birds with 1 stone. Indeed, if I equip the dolphin, indeed, if I equip the dolphin with with the ability as stole, then I'll learn all about it and be able to use it once. But if the worst case scenario should arise and that ability has a very difficult condition required for activation, then using the ability itself will end up becoming my biggest problem, as I'll be forced to remain in Emperor's time. No, I'm fine for now. That would, without a doubt, mean my death. For now, let's split up and search the room. Shimano, please answer the phone. Emperor's time rule. While activated, every second shortens its user's lifespan by 1 hour. Oh yeah, you're freaking dead. He said that. So he said that. So 7 times 10, that's 70. So 1 week is 70 years. So he can't do that. He definitely can't do that. You lose 70 years of his life. Okay, I think what he's doing is he's saying that if he uses the dolphin, which he used the dolphin to steal the guy's ability, right? He stole the guy's ability. But I think he only loses life. He only loses life. Okay, he loses life when he has Emperor's Time activated. But I don't think he always has Emperor's Time activated because he's not using this ability all the time. I don't know if he has to hold on to this ability to uh if he has to keep this ability activated through Emperor's Time or if he can keep it active without using it. If he can keep it active without using it, then he's not going to lose a lot of lifespan and he can hold on to it. He can keep the dolphin inactive and then only give it to her when the banquet starts. And then she can use this ability control. But then at that point, Kurapika only has a little bit amount of time before like he's gonna start dying. So he has to get the information he needs very quickly. It's from the telephone switchboard operator. Someone sent a message saying they want to speak to you. Who? That's the thing. 3 people sent it at once. First Prince Benjamin, the third Prince Zhang and fifth Prince Subepa. Normally, the proper protocol would be to respond to them from oldest to youngest. But in this case, the princes that get postponed will interpret it as a hostile action. Indeed, they may suspect that we have colluded with the person who we spoke to first. And even if we deny it, there's no proving it. And if the princes that get left waiting end up hanging up, that will be a declaration of war. Ding dong. On top of 3 phone calls, 1 visitor, which gets chosen first, is a matter of life and death. Wow, things are moving freaking quick. What chapter am I on? Reef 365. Should I stop here? I want to go one more. I really want to go one more because I want to see this phone conversation. Oh gosh, so much stuff is happening. 365. Okay. The first, the third, and the fifth. Three princes calling at the same time. Who should I answer first? The first prince Benjamin knows full well that his own soldier was killed, which means that we are already in a state of war against him. But despite that, why would he send another assassin to us and want to talk to us at the same time? The reason the other two are trying to contact us is probably for the same reason, for information about Nenbeast. And if they're trying to gather information about them, then that probably means there were no Nen users among their own soldiers. Better hypothesis. That supports my hypothesis that both of these princes probably decided not to rely on the Hunters Association for bodyguards, and instead had their own private soldiers receive temporary associate licenses. I have no shortage of things that I'd like to discuss with them, but we simply lack enough information on either of those two princes. I can't imagine that they would go out of their way to call us just to declare war. The fact that I made contact with the first prince has probably put pressure on the other princes. Okay. So Kurapika figures out what they have in common. What they have in common is they want information on each other. The first prince obviously wants more information. I'm assuming that that's what Kurapika thinks. He thinks that the first prince probably wants information on him. As he says there, they're trying to gather information. But he's talking about the other princes, the two other princes. The reason the other two princes are probably for the same. Oh no, he says it's probably for the same reason. So he thinks all three of them are only talking to him because they want information. But as for who to call first, uh, I mean Benjamin just seems like I don't know. I think you should talk to Benjamin first, and then I think you just go oldest to youngest. I think you should go first, third, and fifth. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't talk to Benjamin first. Clearly the most unhinged. Shimano, ask the soldier waiting outside to please wait a moment and tell the switchboard operator to please connect me to the first prince. See, he did exactly what I said, but that's what I would have did. I'm talking to the first. I'm going first, third, and fifth. I'm going in order because, namely, because the first just has he just has too much resources. You kind of have to negotiate with the guy. Yes, sir. Bill, stay by the door and keep watch on the soldier outside. Depending on how our conversation goes, fighting may break out right away. Can you handle Gio? Leave it to me. I'll put a stop to anything that might happen. They've taken the bait I laid in making them think I'm a manipulator. Then they won't be able to make any careless moves. Hello. Oh wow, he lied. Hello, this is a most exceptional honor, prioritizing me over the first Prince Benjamin. Shang Lei. Ooh. He wasn't trying to do that. Oh, she's working for the first prince. Oh, she's infiltrated by the first prince. No, she's wait, what? Why would she do that? Time out. What just happened here? Did I miss something? Bro, what is happening here? Why did she do that? She just doesn't care. I don't think she cares. Wow, that's actually very serious. Prioritizing me over the first Prince Benjamin. Zheng Lei. Pardon my asking, but would you tell me something? Why would you choose me over the first prince? To be perfectly honest, I thought you would be the most open to discussion. Oh, and what did you base that as assumption on? I'm sorry, but I can't answer that yet. Because it likely has to do with the information that you want from me about Nen. Very well, let's jump to that matter at hand then. As you have surmised, I want as much information as I can get about Nen. But of course, there's no way to ensure our privacy is maintained over the phone. Thus, I would like to give you permission to enter my room. How about it? An exchange of honor and information, just as I'd expect of someone of royal lineage. He won't let us take the upper hand in any way. Wow. These guys are master negotiators. This is master negotiation. So Kurapika tries to like present what he's gonna give them, and then he tries to like, and then he's like, okay, well, come to my spot first. You can come over to my spot, and we could talk about it. And he's trying to get the upper hand. I accept your gracious invitation, but just one thing: would you please allow 14th Prince Wobble and 8th Prince Oito to accompany me? Of course, they are both welcome as well. I wouldn't even dream of having us siblings fight amongst each other for an instant. Well, then I shall ring you on the intercom in 15 minutes. Connect me to the first prince. Shit, he's already hung up. Shall I connect you to the fifth prince, Subepa? Right away. Hello, this is Kurapika. This is this is second lieutenant mayor under the direct authority of fifth prince Subepa. Second lieutenant Leo Mayor. We are prepared to offer an agreement of truce an agreement of truce in exchange for information on Ninbis. Will you accept? And you don't care about my interaction with other princes. Your situation is of no concern to us. Very well, then I accept your offer. The prince has entrusted me with full responsibility for this matter. We won't do anything to break the agreement on our own. But depending on what you do, there are certain situations that may nullify it. That's fine. We would like to avoid conflict if at all possible. Understood then. I will head over to your room. I'm sorry, but could you give us just a little bit of time? I believe I already told you. Your situation is of no concern to us. Oh gosh. They really want this guy to pick a side. This phone call was really just about how the princes perceive stuff. Like Benjamin wasn't contact first. All right, that you picked a side. Oh, your situation is we have an agreement together. Follow through with that agreement. There's no compromise. Otherwise, you picked a side. These guys are very straightforward. Your situation is of no concern to us. We do not believe that you are the only person who possesses information about Nin, and the agreement will take place the moment we receive information. Do you understand? So that's how you want it. I do, but we're presently dealing with a problem. The first prince's bodyguard is stationed outside our door. Though I suppose I could just invite you in, while ignoring the first prince's man. After all, how the first prince would interpret that situation is of no concern to us. Do you understand? Very well. We will contact you again in an hour. If you have not resolved the problem by then our agreement is off. Nice. So he's leveraging the authority and power of the first prince against the fifth. That's pretty smart. Pretty smart, Kurupika. Bill, look after the queen. Okay. No response from him at the door. at all. Shimano, come here and look me in the eyes. Why did you connect me? Why did you connect me the third Prince Zhenglei instead of the first Prince Benjamin? I too wanted to do my very best to try to survive. The first prince is a cruel, cold hearted person. He's not the kind of person that would ever be swayed by any kind of negotiations or even pleading for life. He also isn't the kind of person that would speak directly to commoners. The person you would have spoken to on the phone would have probably either been the one in charge of his soldiers, Sergeant Might. Any negotiations, any discussions or negotiations had already broken down with the death of his subordinate. With that, he only had one piece of business left for us to show to show respect to how faithful we were to our employer, the Queen. He will let us choose our method of death. I have no interest in how I'm going to die. All I want is to live, and that's why I connected you with the third Prince Zhenglei. So she just has more information. She's. I mean, yeah, the first prince doesn't seem like he's pretty negotiable. Like he's not like the fifth. He's not like the third. The third's just more reasonable. He's tolerant and generous enough that he would take the phone himself to negotiate directly with us, but prideful and not so tolerant that he would wait to be spoken to second. He would wait to he would wait to be spoken to second and not hang up. While he would like to avoid killing one another, if it came down to it, he would not hesitate in the slightest. He's someone who is both kind and cruel at the same time. That is my impression of Third Prince Zhenglei. Wow. Furthermore, if we can negotiate with him without harming his impression of us or his mood, at the very least he won't target us until there are fewer princes left. So then you connected me to him first in order to best ensure your safety. Yes, sir. Fifth Prince Subeba is not the kind that would speak on the phone himself, but he has very strong critical opinions on how the kingdom should be run, how the how the present kingdom should be. The reason he is participating in this battle is to stop the higher princes from taking control of the throne. Once he accomplishes that, he will be able to negotiate with the king, and he will have the political power to gain amnesty for the lower princes. I decided that even if we picked third Prince Shanglei first and made him wait, he wasn't the kind of person that would interpret that as disrespect. Indeed, up until now, all Shamano's judgments have been accurate. And let me ask you this. As for this first prince's soldier who's waiting outside, what do you think we should do with him? We can't make him wait. We can't make him stay out there. You have to let him in. You just have to monitor him. Being an upper rank soldier who's also part of the king's personal army, he has come here under the name of national defense to protect and observe. If we refuse him, the queen, the prince, all of us will be tamed by the royal army. And once we are, the first prince of soldiers will accompany us. All he needs is one single opening, just a moment, and he'll construct a scenario where the king is being frantic and in the mental state of anguish, killed herself along with the prince. The reason he hasn't taken any actions despite having been made to wait this long, he already knows exactly what it to he already knows exactly what it to he should do. The longer this abnormal situation goes on, the easier it will be for them to lay the groundwork for that scenario. Nice. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so the first prince is all about trying to he's all about trying to create a scenario where he can eliminate Kurapika or at least detain him. Thank you, Shimano. Thank you. I will be needing your advice. Please tell me anything you think of. Yes, sir. Kurapika is about time. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. The prince was making preparations to go out. To go out. We're about to hand over to the third Prince Zhenglei's room. Of course, we were invited by the prince himself. Will you accompany us? No. If you're going to the third prince's area, I'll leave things in your care. Meanwhile, I'll wait here in the room. I'll be fine. I won't go down easily. Kurapika, are you going to go with your eyes like that? No, I'll be wearing contacts. If the French Prince Subeba calls, tell him that the problem has been solved. I'll be in contact as soon as the negotiations are finished. Creek. Take care. After you. Those are fourth Prince Serench's quarters. The people have arrived and I've entered the room. Welcome. Please have a seat. Take whichever one you like. I apologize for the meager hospitality, but if you don't mind, I'd like to move on without worrying about such needless things. Thank you for your consideration. Well then, right, let's get right to this information of yours. Nin refers to the ability to invoke superhuman powers with your willpower. Using these powers can Using these powers you can see things that are normally invisible and are also use other extraordinary powers. There are very few people that are able to use this power. Kurapika, is he probably directing this explanation to me? Within this tense situation, he's trying to make sure that I don't panic. Nan refers to the ability to invoke him that are normally invisible and also use other extraordinary powers. There are very few people that are able to use this power. He's probably directing this explanation to me. Within this tense situation, he's trying to make sure I don't panic. This succession war is a survival race using Nin abilities. All the princes were unknowingly given Nin powers. Oh. Those are the Nin beasts, the word that was broadcast on the emergency channel earlier. I believe they were activated through the jar ceremony. Okay. This thing is staring at her. It's plus sign. Looks like a normal face, like a sun. Now, the information I'm about to give you is of extreme importance, enough to affect the outcome of the succession war. Bodyguard Slacker, second Queen Dwayzel's soldier. First Prince Benjamin's private soldier. Are you sure that you wish to have this conversation here? One more chapter. While puffing off clouds and blood, the boat moves forward. Biscuit, it's definitely gotten bigger, hasn't it? Yes, It's noticed that we can see it as well. Come on, you're spilling your food again, Ma. 1012. Under these circumstances, we're able to assassinate her at any time now. But if someone that assassinates a member of the royal family gets caught by the royal army, they'll be executed along with their entire family. I need to do this while making absolutely sure that I don't get caught. I also need to leave behind proof that I was the one that actually did it. That way I ensure that way I can ensure a powerful and important position under the next king. First Prince Benjamin's soldier. Second Prince Duezo. Third Queen Tang Zhao Li. Fourth Queen Catrono. Bodyguards Soda. Fifth Prince Swinko's affiliation. Sixth Prince Seiko's affiliation. This assassination needs to be a perfect crime with an obvious culprit. Sixth Prince Seiko. Hey, there's no need to waste your energy just yet. Bodyguard Beckham. Sixth Prince Seiko's affiliation. They need to swap shifts with us first. We're the only ones that are actually trying to really protect the 11th Prince Fugetsu. The other bodyguards are at best here to spy on her, and at worst here as assassins. Dang, so she has like six people that are going after her. She only has like two bodyguards at best. Disgusting. Even a junkyard dog wouldn't eat this stuff. Go make it again. What are we even paying you for anyways? Jeez. I wish she'd just get killed already. Us too. If only would have been assigned to 11th Prince Fugetsu. They're supposed to be twins, but why are they so different? I can't stand it anymore. I want to quit. If she is even lying to herself and wanting this, then no matter what else, this is just wrong. Prince, are you awake? How are you feeling? Sir, it was just a dream, but I was sure. I was so sure that something had changed. Sail, get your act together. You're the one and the only prince and heir to the Swinkle family. Would you at least be a little bit more aware of yourself? Fine, I understand, Mom. No, you don't understand at all. The succession war is even more of a once in a lifetime chance. Of course, I'll do everything I can to support you. But first off, you need to really change yourself around. Otherwise, you're going to be the first to drop out. Well then, how about trusting me a little? I am your son, you know. Oh, do you have some kind of plan? Of course. At the next dinner banquet, the world is going to change. Are you sure this here is completely legal? No doubt about it. I've even put this Clean Leaf's recipe on its homepage. To combat the vultures trying to steal it, I had to take out a patent for it, but we can also use it for our own personal enjoyment. I tried all different kinds of ingredients and stuff, but this kind of stuff is the mix I ended up with. It's strange, but all my heavy smoker friends all got healthier. Oh, what's wrong? I was just thinking that maybe it could be used for rehabilitating drug addicts. It all comes down to First Prince Benjamin getting in the way. Drugs are supposed to be handled by the military. I just recently a friend of mine got completely struck out total rock bottom. Overdoing anything is never good. Is never a good thing. What if we did clinical trials for health research, which with for health research with it and release the results to the public? Would that work? Of course. If you were to become king, that would be the fastest way to do that. As if it were just that easy. Python, a Bible. That's right. Once all of humanity converts to the teaching of Tython, then we'll arrive at a world of true peace. You all should read it too. Once you do, you'll understand. Let's see. Chapter 1. Love will always triumph in the end. I see, so that's where she went with it. In a way, she's really amazing to be like this in such a critical situation. Would you like me to show you how to praise someone for a book you haven't read yet? First Prince Benjamin's bodyguard, Brachi. Mrs. Mayor, have you resolved the problem? Very well. Then I will now head to your room. I'm going over to room 1014. Thank you. I would not think they will tell you everything, which means there will be more meetings safer safer this. I'm thinking it after. There will be more meeting after this. During those, decide how to deal with him. Yes, sir. This is Bahivi Maina. I'm currently carrying out the mission. He's an eyesore, but it's going to be difficult to get rid of the forced observation from the higher up queens. First off, I need to do something about Brachi. Put both your hands in front of your chest. Imagine a ball floating between them. Hueyo. We'll start off by going 10-minute sets a day for 10 days. If you're fast, we might even finish in 5 to 7 days. I felt it. What? I felt my aura. Let's move on. Your Highness, I know that you want to rush through this, but no, I really did. See for yourself. Here's the ball thing on my right hand. And now I move it to my left hand. And now it's on the index, and now it's on the tip of my index finger. See? I can't believe it. He's a genius. I don't particularly mind, but First Prince Benjamin and Fifth Prince Supepa also contacted you, correct? You have an appointment after this as well, don't you? Yes. I'm extremely sorry to have to say this, but it's fine. We can take your we can take your time going over it all the next time we meet. I've also heard that you're lacking manpower. Yes. An attack from the enemy's Nen beast killed most of our bodyguards. I'll send two of my private soldiers over to you. Do not worry. They're extremely capable and should be able to contribute well to any discussions you have. Thank you. Bodyguard Slacker. Second Queen Dweezil. First Prince Benjamin's private soldier. It is the duty of the first Queen Unma and second Queen Dweezil soldiers to observe and report to the lower queen on the lower princes. Either one or even both will definitely be at the prince's side as his bodyguard. Though we normally don't get along well at all, the reason we are cooperating towards our mutual interest right now is all thanks to the second Queen Dweezil. Her Highness, who is normally very conservative towards everything, has ordered us to serve out our role as support. But that wouldn't keep First Queen Unma's soldiers from keeping their information all to themselves, which is why Captain Mandem is here in coordination to make sure everything goes as planned. Second Queen Dweezil's affiliation. However, the situation was beyond our expectations. An exchange of highly sensitive information between the aides of the lower princes. One of us one of us can abandon our first priority of monitoring the fronts to find information about this information to find out about this information. Normally Queen Unma's guard should be the one to go with them, but there is one issue. In situations like this where our opponents are aware of our own motives and actions, there's a high possibility that they will have traps and false information waiting for us. Which of us will be more easily able to attain the true information? Sakata, Hashito, guard, 14th Prince wobbled until the next banquet. Yes, sir. Hashito, Shanglei's private soldier. Sakata, Shanglei's private soldier. Okay, so the first queen and the second queen have the same objective. They're the ones that have infiltrated the lower prince's bodyguards by like assigning them. And they're supposed to be keeping tabs on the lower princes and queens. Slacker, this is an order from the queen, right? I will stay here and guard the prince. You go and support those two. So she's decided it's best to stick with Zhang huh? Copy that. Sir, under orders from the first Queen Unma. Yes, yes, yes. You don't need to check in with me. You've got much more pressing matters to attend to than guarding a lowly prince like myself, right? Do as you please. He's very witty too. So it seems like a lot of the royal guards are pretty smart, and they understand like the relationship between the higher princes or the higher queens, sorry, the higher queens and the lower queens. That the queens have their own interests in like observing the lower princes, and that they're also being infiltrated by like the higher princes. Like Prince Benjamin's got bodyguards. They're obviously aware of that. But excuse me, yo, I'll be coming along with you two. If you guys come across any information, share it with me too, would you? If I fail this information, I may get fired. If I end up jobless, I may lose it. And who knows what I'd do then. So, have you bought all of the Mew, Zen, and Coach Pie's winter catalog yet? Don't miss out on it, like the last seasonal limited edition collaboration. For now, I'll decide on Harry Webb's Phosphorus series after I see it. Hey, Mom, are you listening? Yes, I'm listening. Ah, by the way, we'll kill Benjamin first and then Hulkenberg. Got it? You don't have to check with me for things like that. That's for princes to decide amongst yourselves. Mom, I think you're misunderstanding something. This isn't a confirmation, this is an order. It'll be easier for you to get closer to Alkenberg, mother. Do it. But for you, you could easily accomplish this without relying on the strength of someone like me, right? As if I don't already know that. I just want to do this the easiest possible way. Coo 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 coo. It's useless to exclude me from being your bodyguard. With my secret window, I can listen into all your conversations, but just a conversation that, but just a conversation can't be considered conclusive evidence. What I need is physical evidence and a timing to confront them, where they won't be able to evade. For that, I'll have to fly my bird directly to Second Prince Camilla, First Prince Benjamin's private soldier. Yeah, so the second prince is pretty clumsy. She's getting spied on already. She's pretty trash, Loki. They rejected our call and invited Bahimi. They rejected our call and invited Bahimi in. Should we interpret? How should we interpret this, First Prince Benjamin? He is prepared and has an accurate grasp of the present situation. On top of that, he is calm and collected. While he is aware he cannot evade an all-out war, he's avoiding giving us any needless excuses. He's trying to advance on. He's trying to advance on while still keeping his guard up. He may be thinking this could be a good chance to whittle down our forces one by one. Either way, letting them think that way is the most efficient thing for us right now. If they're aimed, if they're aiming to drive things to a stalemate, then they won't engage in a fight. Bahavimia, who happens to be a counter type. What happens if we're able to get an understanding of their abilities? Looks like it's my turn to act. Bodyguard Hurikov, First Prince Benjamin's private soldier. This is Bill. I'm opening. I'm opening it up. I'm opening it now. Yes, there's no movement. Oh, I see Prince Benjamin's man is already here. I'm Queen Dweezil's soldier, Slacker. I have some things I'd like to confirm with you. Would you come with me? Nothing out of the ordinary to report. Who are they? Two of Zhang Lei's private soldiers and the second queen's guard. The two from Zhang Lei are here to assist us with our mission, but that one there from the second queen could cause trouble beyond your guard. Understood. I'll keep a watch on Sakata. So would you check up on Hashito's actions? Got it. Unlike that, unlike that moody baldy Kovintoba, you seem like you'll be easy to get along with. Let's work together on this. Hmm. Yeah, this guy doesn't care. He has his own interests. This is bad. I can't have the queen use her ability in this situation. I have no idea how long I'm going to be forced to remain in Emperor's time at this rate. The situation has changed dramatically. If I find any small creature, I should use it here. No. It's too dangerous to use your ability in front of the enemy's bodyguards. If you find a target, Bill and I will try to do something to create an opportunity for you to activate the ability. More importantly, will you even be able to find a creature that satisfies the requirements? I was too naive. This ability, these conditions, it's a far more dangerous poison than I'd ever imagined. Damn it. The hell do these things keep crawling in from? What's wrong? You look awful. Do I? You look ready to kill someone. You've probably gone through a lot too, leading up to getting on this boat. now that you're here, you should just try to forget all of it, all about all your worldly ties. As hard as it on this boat goes a spider. Ties are not forgotten, they're severed. Wow. He lost the people that he really cared about. That sucks. That sucks for Corolla, man. I mean, it's sad. Okay, so this chapter is literally all about diplomacy. So like Kurapika just tries to meet up with he luckily has the queen servant on his side, and the queen servant is kind of guiding him to like who she thinks that Kurapika should align with. He's aligning with a little bit with the third prince, and the negotiations seem to have gone well. He's gotten more protection for Prince Wobble, and it seems like the third prince is kind of keeping an eye, is looking for information on Nin. The fifth prince is also doing it. The fifth, the third, and the first are looking for information on the Nin beast. They're all doing that. The first prince seems to be going on the aggressive. He wants to provoke a situation where he can eliminate his enemies. And then the second prince has her own interests. Like she wants to do everything. She thinks everything's centered on herself. She has her own interests about what she wants to do. And then all the other the higher rank queens, they infiltrated the group. Where is it? Yeah. The higher rank queens have infiltrated the group. And they basically have their own interests of like of observing the lower queens or the lower princes. And then they usually don't get along well, but like they're all coordinating. So like they don't want the lower queens to be unmonitored. All about diplomacy. Everybody has their own interests. Everybody's looking to achieve some sort of goal. Very interesting. I'll be looking forward to get to the next episodes. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. See ya.